Hey cats, Ed Midsole Bud here. Today's video is my top 10 running shoes in my current collection. Lots to get through, so let's get to it. Thanks for joining me back here on the channel, it's always appreciated. Help us out to reach 30,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button, but also clicking the bell below for notifications when we launch those new videos for you. Also helps if you give this video a thumbs up like and share it with your running buddies. So we're about halfway through the year and it's about that time where I take stock and perhaps move some running shoes on that I'm not really using, I'm not all that into, to try and minimise the collection a little bit before it spirals out of control. So there's obviously a few shoes that I don't get on with, but some that I really savour using as well that I just can't bring myself to get rid of. Today is the cream of the crop though, my top 10 running shoes in my current collection. You know, there's only so much room, so you've got to move some stuff on sometimes, haven't you? Let's get started with number 10. At number 10, it's a fantastic combo of midsole technologies in the Asics Gel Nimbus 24. There's just about everything in here that you'd expect within an Asics shoe, though this time using a new version of Flight Foam Blast, which has a plus on it. That gives us a slightly softer midsole material here. You've also got a little bit of the classic gel in there as well within the midsole, just to provide a little bit of extra stability and impact protection. Just shows that Asics are moving forward here, even with some of the staples within their running shoe lineup. They're still right up there in terms of innovation and cushion. One perhaps for the easy days, the long runs, it will handle pretty much anything really. And I would imagine is some people's ideal marathon shoe. So number 10 is the Asics Gel Nimbus 24. At number 9, it's a shoe that came out a fair few years ago but is still one of the most beautiful in my collection. Probably one of the best performing shoes for me as well over some race distances. It's the Nike ZOOMX Vaporfly 4% GYAKUSOU edition. I think I pronounced it wrong, I do apologise for that, but I think the shoe does all the talking. I think the Vaporfly 4% for some people out there is still the pinnacle of the Vaporfly shoes. It truly is a wondrous beauty in this sort of burgundy colour. It's pretty torn up and certainly well used, I think close to 100 miles perhaps, and that's pretty much all racing, and you'd expect that. It's just a shoe that still feels really nice. The ZOOMX material does feel a little bit different in this one. I don't know whether they've switched it up since the Vaporfly 4%, but certainly a classic to me, both visually and from a performance aspect too. Still one of the best of the bunch in my collection thus far, the Vaporfly 4% GYAKUSOU edition. I just love some of the awesome details here. The FLYKNIT is really stretchy and accommodating, and I really do like the way that they've taken the actual heel count here and put it on the outside of the shoe. And the toe box, super breathable. At number 8, it's a shoe from Puma, the Deviate Nitro Elite. Now I do have a couple of pairs of these, never been used. The others I think have got about 70 miles on them. I think visually, aesthetically, these are one of the most wonderful looking running shoes around. So this colourway as well looks fantastic. Almost see-through as well. You could probably wear any sort of socks and switch up the colorways a little bit. I love this super soft Nitro Elite foam here. It really does stand out from the other super shoe models right now. Very light as well in hand. Could be a really useful shoe across all the different common race distances. Weight wise, it's pretty much the same as some of the top line Asics models. I think Puma got it pretty much on the money with this shoe first time out, and that's why I think they've extended out the sort of life cycle of the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite. I think people are still snapping them up and utilising them. Perhaps a bit of an overlooked shoe, this one. Do test it out if you get the opportunity. So certainly one of my favourites within my running shoe collection right now, the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite. Regular viewers of the channel will know how much I've been loving the Invincible Run FLYKNIT 2 from Nike, so it takes up position 7 on today's list. This is one that I just absolutely love running in right now. It's really working out for me. If you watched my recent video where I was talking about running only in ZOOMX shoes for a week, this is one of those shoes that I've been using. I had a bit of a love-hate relationship with the first version of the shoe. I think they have ironed out a few of the problems that I did experience with that first one. Certainly not getting any blisters on the medial sort of toe box area here, and the lockdown that I'm getting from the laces is much improved over the V1. It's just cushion for days here. You're going to get loads and loads of mileage out of it as long as you don't step on the back of the shoe to take them off. Probably one that's going to be really useful in training, especially when I need a bit of an extra push to get out there. And I really like the actual colourway here, the red and the lime green. Shouldn't really work together, and I'm sure that they don't for some people, but for me it looks like a superb shoe. Great performance, and it looks hot too. It's the Invincible Run FLYKNIT 2 from Nike. At position 6, it's the Nike Air Zoom Pegasus 39. A very basic looking shoe, this one, and that's kind of why I like it so much. There's just no gimmicks here, no bells and whistles. I did see that there was a New Balance shoe that they released a while ago, a trail shoe that actually had a whistle built into the back of it. Imagine that. A slightly softer React foam in this year's version of the Pegasus, and it certainly brought it back up to the upper echelons for me. I'm liking the dual airbags in this one, and I got up to 100 miles in it really quickly for review. It's one that I can't really bring myself to get rid of. I'll probably utilise it perhaps later in the year when things start getting a little bit cooler. Great availability and some just really on point small improvements here over the 38. As such, I can highly recommend the Pegasus 39 for you if you're perhaps in the market for a really great and affordable daily shoe. So at position 6, it's the Pegasus 39 from Nike. I can't believe we're halfway through the list already, it's just wild. Position number 5 has got to be the Adios Pro 2 from Adidas. Now, not just any colourway, this Berlin Marathon one from 2021 is probably one of the greatest looking running shoes I think that exist. There's nothing better than this. I mean, look at the colours. It's just wonderful. Somewhat space age. You can imagine maybe Captain Kirk wearing it as he steps off of the Enterprise onto some unknown planet. I'm not sure Spock would dig this one there, it's perhaps a little bit too outlandish for him. It's one that I've pushed more towards training really. I haven't had much of an opportunity to race in it sadly. Just after I picked it up last year I did get injured, but I need to get back out in this one very soon. Just looking at it again now, it's kind of calling me to get out there and do some faster paced efforts in the Adios Pro 2. I mean, you've got looks here, you've got an upper that's got the fit and feel of a glove, grip that's very grippy. Overall, just a superbly designed shoe. If you haven't tested it out yet, I would try and pick one up now on discount as the V3 has recently been released. So, position 5 is the Adios Pro 2 from Adidas. At position 4, we've got an absolute beast of a shoe, the ADIZERO Prime X from Adidas. A cushioned cruiser, but it doesn't have loads and loads of weight like some max cushion shoes have these days. I just find this shoe a real innovation. It's just something all of its own. There's a massive stack of foam here, and Adidas have put all sorts of different special ingredients into that midsole. You've got those energy rods which kind of mimic the bones in your foot. Then you've also got 3 blades that are underneath the energy rods to provide even more stability. And you kind of need that with this shoe because it is somewhat unstable. At least if you're running on some uneven terrain, but I don't think you should really attempt that with this shoe. It very much is one that you want to use on road or on pavements, something where it's quite flat. I think it looks the part as well. It does look something space age, doesn't it? Like the Air Mags that Marty McFly wears in Back to the Future 2. With some shoes like this, they kind of forget to put some decent grip on the outsole, but that is not the case here. Probably one of the best, most grippy Adidas shoes that have come out in recent times. All in all, it's an absolute cracker. Though quite pricey, it's one that I'm really glad to have in my collection at the moment. At number 3, it's kind of like a new entry and a shoe that I'm kind of bowled over with now. At any pace, it's the Alphafly Next% 2 from Nike. I've used this for pretty much every pace that I would run at during my training and racing so far, and it comes out with flying colours. It really is a tremendous shoe. Some small, tiny refinements here. The more and more I use it, the more and more I want to wear it. I think the off-white colour scheme that they've used here as well in this proto edition of the shoe is absolute fire. Got these kind of different variations on white and grey, and they work together superbly well. A very addictive shoe to run in as well, because they leave the legs feeling really, really fresh. Worthy of its top 3 position, the Alphafly Next% 2. 2 to go, and at number 2 it is the Asics Metaspeed Sky Plus. So I did get my 10k PB in this shoe just the other week. It's so ridiculously light and nimble on foot. I absolutely love it. I do like the way that Asics have increased the actual width of the shoe in the midfoot a little bit. It's just made the shoe that little bit more stable and a little bit more propulsive because we've got a a little more foam underfoot. It's just very exciting to wear. You get it on foot, it does feel like you're wearing some sort of race shoe. Some of these super shoes can be very cushioned, certainly around the heel area of the foot. This one just says go fast, or stay at home. And that's what it's saying to me right now. I think the colour scheme on this one is absolutely insane as well. I love it. The different shades of green, you've got that sort of hazard yellow on there too. Reminds me a little bit of the Yeovil Town Football Club colours. That's my home team. Green and whites. If they came out in a kit like this, I would be really, really, really pleased. So, at position 2, it is the Asics Metaspeed Sky Plus. Probably use this one at the Asics 10K in a couple of weeks' time. So, we're down to position 1. I'm just going to let you think about it for a moment. What possibly could Eddbud have at position number 1 in his current collection? Have you thought about it yet? At position number 1, it's the Adidas ADIZERO Takumi Sen 8. Now, when I first got this shoe, I was a little bit underwhelmed, just didn't really excite me all that much. But as I got more and more miles into it, it just got better and better. Light and nimble with a superb upper fit. It's glove-like and really, really thin and breathable too. It's kind of like all the best bits of the Adios 6, but channeled into a much faster race shoe with only Light Strike Pro in the midsole. Grip of the ground gods and brilliance in a shoe. It's kind of like distilled brilliance here, whereas other companies are chucking more and more foam at things. Adidas have kind of simplified the ingredients and come up with a really tasty broth. So my current number 1 shoe in the collection at this moment in time is the Adidas ADIZERO Takumi Sen 8. What do you reckon of my crazy shoe list today, guys? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Musical interlude time. I've been watching loads of the Glastonbury live performances over on the BBC iPlayer. There's some great stuff on there. One act I really enjoyed was Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. Holy Mountain, such a great tune. I love the fact that this huge horn section blasting away in there, it really propels the song forward. Gives it almost like a Little Richard feel, I suppose, strangely. But it still feels modern in terms of the whole way it's been produced. Almost feels like a dance track, I suppose. The whole band sounded great. Noel Gallagher's got a really good set of people performing with him, and I thought they did the songs proud on the Glastonbury stage, which sometimes can be quite tough to play, I suppose. You've got to get on stage really quickly, get all the sound right, and it did sound colossal. Other good ones to check out from Glastonbury over the weekend were Kurungbin. Rufus Wainwright was also very good, some really brilliant singing there, and First Aid Kit as well. Some nice melodies going on. Go and check some of it out, guys. Thanks for tuning in, always appreciated. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and also click the bell below for notifications. Help us reach 30,000 subscribers. We're almost there. Also give this video a thumbs up, like, and share it with your running buddies. My name's Eddbud, and I'll be seeing you.